Thank you for sharing that. All right, so let's get into our series for the month of December. It is working through our YouTube funnel. So last week we talked about the three types of videos to attract clients 24/7. So we talked about the strategy of what we call workflow videos, which are designed to save you time. We talked about the concept of converting videos, which are designed to take those people that are on the fence and have them hop off the fence right into your CRM. And then the third part of our system, we talked about those viral videos, which are designed to gain reach for your business, your channel. Those are the three types of videos for the most part that you're going to be, not for the most part, those are the three types of videos to create for your channel to have a healthy mix of time saving, converting, and reach. So if you do that harmoniously, you're going to find a incredible balance or incredible engine in your YouTube funnel. Today, we're going to go into converting videos. We're going to turn those views into buyers. We're going to be very calculated with the swings that we take in these converting videos. We're not always looking for that home run. This is an analogy that we used last week. Singles work. Eventually, we make it around the home base. Doubles work, triples work. Those are fantastic. We don't always have to go for those home runs, and those home runs being the viral videos. At the end of the day, what we're looking to do here is take the questions that are being asked or addressing the problems that a lot of our clients have, whether we're looking for buyers or sellers, addressing them and having a call to action. That basically that's the system that we use whenever we're doing converting videos. So I'm going to give you some exact ones to look at right now. All right, so with that being said, let's go into our goals. So we're going to start conversations, not just views. Now, oftentimes we are looking for, hey, or get frustrated with, we only have 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, 300 subscribers. That really doesn't matter with YouTube. What you're looking for is having the right type of viewers watch your content and ultimately take them from interest into interested. Right. So if they may have an interest in buying, but if they're interested in you and you being the person to help them buy, that's what you're after. That's the goal. What you're looking to have are results, not subscribers. There's plenty of examples just within creator agents alone, and mind you, individuals that we may not work with and directly that have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 subscribers and are pulling in 10, 20, 30, 50, 80 transactions per year. Right. So I know I bring him up quite a bit. So I'll probably because he doesn't mind me sharing his stats in production. So you might remember Zach Schmidt, who I bring up quite frequently. Well, he's been doing over 50 transactions per year for new construction since he had 2,000 subscribers. So now he has 7,500 subscribers and he's still crushing it. I think this year he's gonna cross what 75 transactions, new construction. And that's all his personal business. This doesn't count the listings that he refers out because he doesn't touch listings. And for the most part, he doesn't touch resale unless they're only looking for one home specific in particular, then he'll write the contract. But if you're asking him to go out on a Saturday and show three, four, five different homes that are resale, that's not his core competency. That's not what he's after. At the end of the day, again, it has to do more with the types of videos that are going to actually convert. At the end of the day, what you're doing here is you're addressing the problem, presenting the process, adding a little bit of proof and CTA. So basically problem solution CTA. If you wanted, I should have bracketed this. It's a little bit clearer with here, you're essentially looking at the solution. So you have the problem solution and CTA. Now solution, I broke it into two different segments here to show the process where you're actually giving your best stuff away. You're actually going to see that exact verbiage here in 2 seconds. And proof, it could be your proof. It could be proof within your brokerage. It could be proof just something that you saw online. So as an example, well, actually, let's go into the molecular before we go into more broad stuff. What is the YouTube channel of the person doing 50? Zach Schmidt. I'll pull him up real quick. His last name, I just misspelled it again. Oh, thank you, Carmel. So it's this one. He has 7,600 subscribers, but he's been doing that type of business since it was 2,000 subscribers, if not even less. All right, so let's look at the solution framework. We briefly teased it out in the three types of videos to record, or the three categories of videos to record. Again, we were talking workflow, conversion, and viral. Workflow to save time, converting to actually push people into action, and then viral to gain reach. What we're looking at here is getting more specific on a problem. These are converting videos. These are videos that are designed to convert. These are videos that are designed to push, again, somebody from just a consideration phase into actually being interested in moving forward with you. You're looking to identify at least one specific problem, not just go broad with it. Right. So the solution framework, here's a problem. Homes keep selling fast. How do I compete? Well, in this particular market, that might not be the case. So if you want to go after sellers and look for listings there, my home hasn't sold in 6 months. What to do now? Or if your home hasn't sold in 6 months, do this. Right. So those are specific problems that you're addressing. Now, this type of framework works in all types of business, whether you're looking to get probate leads, whether you're looking to get investor leads, whether you're looking to get loans. I know we have some real estate professionals in our program as well, so I don't want to ignore you loan officers either. It works in all different niches. I don't know what my home is actually worth, right? So if somebody is looking for this, there's a likelihood that they may be considering selling. So why would somebody be looking to find the value of their home? Either they're looking to protest property taxes, which is coming up, at least here in Texas. They may be looking to refinance, which in this particular market, unless they got a loan a year ago, 2 years ago, that's probably not going to be something that they're going to be doing. They're considering selling. That's something else that would be causing them to look up this type of question, or seek this type of solution. And I'll talk about it. Well, I'll talk about the CTA now. A call to action that would be very valuable here would be offering them a seller net sheet. So, problem, you show them how to solve it, and then you give them a strong call to action. The problem is, I don't know what my home is worth. Solution is, here's how to calculate that. Call to action is, have my seller net sheet. I've referenced this. I've referenced Peter in the past. So Peter's somebody that reached out to us in summer. When was Inman last year? Whenever Inman was last year, I don't want to get too off the rails here, but Peter reached out right around that time. And I remember it because I took that call in the lobby. Peter reached out. He downloaded one of our checklists, and I think it was actually this calculator here, the seller net sheet, and he didn't have a home. He was just curious. He was somebody that was doing his homework way ahead of time, long before he actually bought. Wanted to see how to actually calculate once he sold, right? So he watched that video, and I was explaining how to review offers, or how to actually go through a contract and see what the seller how much the seller nets. He downloaded that guide. It went right through our KB Core landing page. I reached out. We connected. He wasn't ready to sell, obviously, because he didn't have home, and in fact, he was actually looking to buy a home. And we ended up placing him in Lavon, Texas. Why do I tell you about Peter? Well, because from Peter, 6 additional transactions came up just since last year. So his sister, and then his best friend, and then the best friend of the best friend. And actually, tomorrow we close Dane and Sophie, which came from the lineage of Peter reaching out because of a simple, very simple Excel sheet. And I'll actually show you what it was. It doesn't have to be all that complicated. He downloaded this, had this available to him, and I don't even know if he used it or not, because again, he was not an owner, but he ended up purchasing with us. All that to say is, he had a problem. I shared with him exactly how to go through and solve that problem of him not knowing what the value of his home would be when he buys. And then the call to action was check out the link down below, opted into the landing page, and then boom, 7 transactions in total later and counting. That's how simple this process could be. Any questions on this? I got kind of went into the Peter story. I probably should have made that a little bit clearer.
I do have a question. So once I start doing those call to actions, how can I implement that into my description? And then how do they get that page and then once they get or download the page, how does it get into KV Core or whatever? Is there
You
like step by step somewhere that
Yeah, if you type in KB Core landing pages, you'll probably see one of my YouTube videos. I've made a few of those. So you just type in KB Core, which we haven't retitled them to Bold Trail, which we probably should. But just type in KB Core landing pages, and I show step by step how to do that.
okay.
So to answer your question at a broad level, though, you have the call to action, you're verbalizing what that call to action is. How do they get it? Well, you would put the link down in the description, in the comment section, or redirect them to that landing page via a QR code or a specific domain that you point them to. Once they get onto that landing page, they give you their contact information. Once they give you their contact information, then you send over the checklist or calculator or whatever it is that you promised them, and that essentially ends the transaction. The next step is following up.
I mean,
So do I personally send it or does the whole process automatically send if I follow that process?
If you watch that video that I'm thinking about, or a video that I'm thinking, well, actually all of them, it can be automated.
Okay. Okay.
Jaime, can you expand on that? You said you provide the KV core or you provide something different? Uh, I kind of didn't understand that part, please.
Let's do this. Look at that. Let's do this. So you have your CTA. You're gonna verbalize that, or you could just have yeah. Let's just say you verbalize it. You made your video, and in that video, you're gonna have your CTA, your call to action, and you're gonna ask them to click on a link in the description. So in your description, I'm just gonna put DSC. In your description, you're going to have the URL. So this URL is, if you're going to collect somebody's information, it's going to be a landing page where it's just very clear what the call to action is. So that URL right there is can be created by, we've talked about CTAs in the past, so I'll show you where we do that. It could be created by one of your a CRM that you have. It could be created by pages like or I'm sorry, funnel builders like ClickFunnels or Go High Level, or it could even be created by Google Forms. You can collect contact information through Google Forms, but essentially what you're looking to do is have a mechanism, a landing page that will collect the information, collect their name, email, phone number. And then, depending on where you get it, if you get that landing page from your CRM, it probably will automatically take that information that it captured and put it into the CRM in an automated way. Probably. Now, if you request the information through Google Forms as an example, you can automate that to where it goes wherever you want. It could go into your CRM. It can go into Notion. So everything that we do, regardless if we use ClickFunnels, KB Core, which is now Bold Trail, Google Forms, we have everything linked back up to Notion because that's where we operate all of our transactions from buyers, sellers, agents, creator agents, everything. Does that help?
Yes, I thought that you said that you offered the CRM or
Oh,
I just don't understand. I understand
no.
I understand the process.
Okay, my bad. I answered the wrong question.
No, no, that's perfect because that does help me and a bunch of other people.
Awesome. So essentially what we're doing is we're presenting the path, we're presenting the process, we're solving the problem, we're not pitching, right? So one of the things that gets us in troubles as marketers, aka agents, is hey, reach out to me because I have something so valuable that I cannot tell you right here in public until you reach out to me. That is called being not that smart at marketing. So here, give your best stuff away. Some people are going to take that information and go and sell their house on their own or go and buy a house on their own. Okay, that's fine. You weren't going to work with those people either way. But if you give away your best stuff, a lot of people are going to see that and find so much value that they're almost in gratitude are going to be reaching out to you to help them buy or help them sell. Many of them are going to do it based off of necessity because they don't want that trouble. So you'll see that one of the most, it is the most, when it comes to real estate terms, the most searched term is how to sell a house without a real estate agent. So essentially what they're saying is how to be a FISBO. So make that video. So if you type in that and into YouTube, you'll probably see one of our videos there where we show people step by step. It's about an hour long video where we show you how to sell your house without a real estate agent. However, within that video, if you see it, let me pull it up. If you in that FISBO video, what you're going to notice is there's going to be some soft CTAs. There's going to be some hard CTAs. There's going to be I'm incentivizing people to reach out. Which channel did we put it on? To reach out along the way, because once they figure out, well, this is a little bit harder than I thought, they end up reaching out because again, they don't want that. They don't want that at the end of the day. So this is video right here. Sell without an agent. Right. So you have that, which I mean, it's external. That's interesting. I would have thought it'd be more search. I'm not mad at it. It's 2,100 views. That's fine.
Yeah, maybe somebody put it a Facebook page, put it on their page. That's why maybe have the sternal.
It's possible. It's possible. Notice that it's 52 minutes in length, and it's just bang, 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 bang. This is not a very superficial video. This is I'm literally showing you how to sell your house without a real estate agent. So anyway, that's an example of this, something we're talking about. And you're looking for the CTA after the fact. Let's not forget the framework here. We have the problem. We're solving it through either showing the process, which in this particular case, how to sell a house. Proof is there. You're going to see a lot of examples of me showing specific scenarios in the importance of pricing their home correctly, the importance of selecting the right offer. And in there, you're going to see several different, again, cost to action that are going to help them. Not going to help them; they're going to help me and get their leads. But the cost to action is happening along the way, right? It could be soft, it could be hard, and you're going to see some of those options here. So, book a call, download a checklist, comment buyer seller. That's the type of cost to action that you're doing. The important thing here is that you select the right topic to go with. Go with it. So, identify one problem. John Size here. I know that you and I were going back and forth on trying to buy some time back with the questions that are continuing to be asked. So of a brokerage team that does quadrillions dollars worth of sales every single year, you're looking to buy some time back. Buy some time back from buyers and sellers, and buy some time back for the agents that he brings on to his team because it's a high production team. So there's a lot of requirements that he has of the agents, a lot of training that they need to go through. So a big part of that is addressing the questions or problems that they have, spelling it out, and having a CTA off of that. It's the exact same formula. Alrighty, high intent topics. So we're looking at buyers and we're looking at sellers. How to buy a home with little to no money out of pocket in Dallas, Fort Worth. That's a high intent. People that are looking to buy. This is something that would very much appeal to them. What you really need to win in a multiple offer situation. Today's market, that's not necessarily the biggest thing, but this was very valuable in 2022 when there was 30 offers per house. New construction versus resale, which saves you more money in 2026. Now, this is something that is a little bit closer to the decision point. We've talked about decision points in the past where there's two decisions on YouTube. One is, am I going to buy? Am I going to sell? I am I am doing my research to see if that's actually what I'm going to do. So people that are making that decision, like, am I going to do this? That's decision point number one. Decision point number two is who am I going to use? Right. So I'm researching, hey, should I buy new construction next year? Or should I buy home period next year? You help people. That's a problem that they have. You're helping people on what that looks like. And the closer that they are to that decision point, the less views that you're going to need in order to convert into a lead, right? So if somebody's asking questions to ask a real estate agent before you hire them, well, you don't need a lot of views for people that are looking for that type of content or looking at that video. Because by them watching that video altogether, they're letting you know a lot about their intent. They're thinking about hiring an agent. Now they need the questions to ask them, right? How to find the best real estate agent to work with. It's another high intent video that it becomes what we call here conversion videos. How much home can you afford in DFW? It's a shocking amount. That's something else that is again high intent. So how much can I actually afford? People that are looking for this type of content or are by themselves watching that video, that says a lot about that motive. Sellers, turn it on its head. How to price your home to sell without leaving money on the table. These are people that are looking to sell. They need to price their home. And that's the biggest, in my opinion, that's the biggest, maybe it's not even a controversial. I just believe that to be the case. That's the number one thing that they need to figure out. The rest is pretty helpful. But if you can help them actually price their home correctly, that's a big determining factor if they're going to be successful in the sale or not. 5 repairs that boost value and 3 that don't, right? How to sell in 20, should you sell or wait? How to get offers in 7 days with using this simple strategy. Now, these are, some of these may not have a ton, some of these might not have a ton of traffic in your particular neck of the woods, and that's okay. What this is designed to do more is to activate that way of thinking in you for your specific market, and then you're just able to rattle them off. Right. So these are all going to be these are all great entry points. Some of them are a little bit more than others, right? So should you sell in 2026 or wait? So how powerful would it be if we had this video out into the world where you're answering that question at scale to 2,100, 5,100, 2,200 people, whatever it happens to be? But how powerful would it be if we sent that same video to your CRM of sellers that have reached out to you in the past asking for a CMA and you spent all that time, energy, and effort getting that CMA over to them only to ghost us or say, hey, now's not the right time? Why not just send them this video? And for those that are ready to move and act based off of that video alone are going to reach out to you. So this is why we call them converting videos. These are designed to get the people that are on the fence, equip them to get them off that
Get
fence.
Get up.
Mede, you have a question or unmuted by accident?
Oh,
You're good, man. Any questions on the high intent topics? Structuring. We were talking about retention a couple of seconds ago or a couple of minutes ago. The structure remains the same. We've talked about structure in the past. Oh, before I forget, we talked about CTA. So the library that I believe was already shared by Carmel in the comment section. Since we don't have why does this not look in here? Since we don't have a ton of time, you'd think I'd call them what they're supposed to be. Where's the call to action? Selling, lead conversion. I don't see it. I know we've talked about CTAs in the past. Huh. I guess we know our topic for, I guess, January. Was it the summit that we covered CTAs? Anyway, that's gonna bug me. Let me keep going and then I'll take a break and find it. Structuring a converting video. We have our structure still the same. It's still the same structure that we've talked about for a while. For sure, we're going to need a strong hook. And this is just a one-liner, very punchy, grab people's attention. Remember the 5 things that we have that we focus on YouTube to be successful. Number 1 is the topic selection. What are we going to record content around? Number 2 is there enough traffic? Is there enough demand for us to make this video? Number 3, what does our thumbnail need to look like? Is there enough curiosity? Is it gonna allow the people that are scrolling on YouTube to actually pause for a quick second and read our 4th thing, our title? What are we going to title our videos to make them SEO friendly or curiosity based friendly or curiosity based? And then number 5 is what do our first 30 seconds need to look like? So it's those 5 T's we've talked about in the past. At this point, when we get into the hook, we're addressing that final. We're looking to stand out. We're looking to capture people's attention because at this point, that's that final piece of the equation. Number 1, topic. 2, traffic. 3, thumbnail. 4, title. 5, 30 seconds, the first 30 seconds of your video. This is where you solidify that viewer's decision on them clicking your video, right? So that's where you're going to have something punchy, something that's going to capture attention. You reinforce the pain, or essentially you're having a reinforcement statement. You're reinforcing the fact that they're here and that they're in the right place. You're affirming their click. So that's the second line. That's the second thing that you're going into. And then you're going to go ahead and go through the process. You're going to walk them through what it actually looks like to solve their specific problem that you initially highlighted up here, right? So at that point, you're going into the steps, you're sharing examples, you're going into stories, you're sharing visuals. These are all different ways that you can explain a process and provide that social proof within that video, ultimately to get results. And how you get results is going to be multiple ways. As I mentioned in that previous video of the Sell Without a Real Estate Agent, you can do a combination of soft CTAs or hard CTAs. So soft CTAs are basically it's an indirect reach, and a hard CTA is essentially just go direct. Let's have a conversation about what you're looking to do. That would be the structure.
I see that you mentioned the calculator again. Is that something that's proprietary or something that you were able to share?
It's proprietary in the sense that I made it. In terms of do like sharing, I have no problem sharing that. Now, note that this is Texas, so it's not going to work for everybody. But if you want to use that and duplicate it for your Google account, modify it to your specific state, it should work.
I'm in Austin, so it will work.
Cool. Cool.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Questions, comments, concerns before we get into the proof?
Hey, Jeremy, thanks for hosting this. Quick question, what are some other examples of some soft CTAs other than the calculator?
Well, funny that you say that. Free payment calculator. So that would be one. Just basically calculator, checklist, things that provide quick wins for the end user. Right. So let's say you make a video. I'm going to go into various examples just to drive home the point. Let's say you made a video about protesting and property taxes. Well, if you can give them a checklist on how to do that, if you can give them a how-to on how to do that, or heck, even if you offer to protest their property taxes for them, that would be a CTA that would be hard to ignore, essentially a lead magnet. a value prop that would be hard to ignore. But in a macro, anything that will solve a problem, have some high value, is going to be a good call to action. So calculators are good lead magnets. Checklists are good lead magnets. Things that will help the end user solve the problem a lot quicker.
Okay. Thank you.
No, good question. Good question. Thank you. Proof that builds trust. Let's go back to our quick little framework here. Problem and then solution, CTA. Problem, solution, CTA. While we're solving it, we are illustrating how to solve that problem, and we're providing proof of it being done successfully in the past. Now, proof, this is, I wanted to include this section in here because some of us may be getting started into real estate, or some of us just may be doing, maybe everyone's in a different real estate, everyone's had various experiences in real estate. So I wanted to show how to provide proof without necessarily getting into the salesy mode, getting into the bragging mode, getting into things that are going to essentially turn off your viewers. Some of the easiest ways that you can provide proof is, of course, through screenshots of previous conversations, of things that have happened, depending on the topic that you're talking about. Screenshots are very powerful, right? So if somebody asks you a question, if you will, or at least here's what happened with the buyer. Well, no, sorry. So if somebody asks you a question like, I got asked how to calculate how to calculate how much they're gonna walk away from the closing table last week. I'm just making something up. Having a screenshot of that question being asked to you is very powerful, as opposed to just making it up. So we get these questions all of the time, right? So I get asked about how to protest property taxes all day long. Well, having a visual representation of that is very powerful. Having proof behind that, substantiating what you're doing. Client stories sell I mean, period, point blank, stories sell. So having those stories where you highlight individuals, whether for the good or bad, is a really good way to build rapport, really good way to increase your watch retention. Because if you're a better storyteller on YouTube, you are going to have a higher retention rate. There's no way that you don't. And again, just this basically highlights the same thing. Here's what happened with the buyer last week, going into a story. Those are various ways to show proof. And if this isn't proof, if this isn't personal proof for you, meaning that you didn't go through this, that's okay. Some of us may be working on our first transaction ever. Well, you have plenty of agents within your brokerage that you can leverage those stories from. So, hey, this just happened to Robert, one of my partner agents, and bang, 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 bang. Then the story is mine. Right. So this is, hey, I just saw this on the Wall Street Journal about a couple that was buying new construction. They didn't do a inspection, and this is how disastrous it was for them. I don't want that for you. So I just took another story. I might not have done a transaction in my life, but I can get these examples externally and then apply them to ultimately sharing the process, or how it's going to solve their problems, right? So how to identify problems or solve the problems. Alrighty, crew. Anything, questions, comments, concerns on this? That's I think that's it. Yeah, that's all we had for today.
Thank you, Jaime.
No, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Alrighty, well, that is all we had. I appreciate you coming on. We do these on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Central. If you have questions, comments, concerns, I am here. Outside of that, see you next week.
One more. I'm sorry.
Oh,
One last
oh,
one.
oh.
Do you share the presentation?
We do. So if you go to, well, I'll give you the link here. In about 15 to 20 minutes, once they get processed, you'll be able to see it. Now, if you want to get reminded that these are going on, then just go to the the creatoragent.com/mastermind. So I'll show you here. And you can opt in so you can get the reminder. So the creatoragent.com/mastermind. Once you opt in, you'll get the library along with the reminders that we're going live.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, crew. See you next week. Thank you.